Welcome back to Cake and Bake. I'm Cake.
And if I was Cake, I would eat myself.
Welcome back to Verbal War Wednesday, where we answer 5 questions. That's right, 5 questions.
We upgraded. Hello!
Hey, welcome to 2016.
Watch out, Wisconsin.
Alright, our first question is from Courtney Het. If you were a talk show host and you could have any special guest, dead or alive, who would it be?
I would say Robin Williams. I miss that guy. He was like the best actor of all time. Yeah, it would definitely be Robin Williams. For sure.
And I think I would go with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
I would like to interview Chris Farley. For sure.
I totally agree with that.
Second question is an additional question on that question is, which 3 questions would you ask them? I know my first question for Chris Farley, since he grew up in like the Madison area in Wisconsin, would be like, how was the move from like Wisconsin to New York? Like, how was it going from this to that, like that big city living kind of stuff?
Real words. Preach, brother. No, I totally agree with that. I mean, the question that I would ask, I would think it would be the same question you would ask, because sadly to say, both of the people that we mentioned would commit suicide, right?
Chris Farley OD'd.
Oh, he OD'd. Okay. Well, I mean,
he was also a very depressed person when he did it, though. So it was...
yeah, and there's I guess for Robin Williams, I would want to ask him why he did it. You know, he was such a successful actor, and he was so good, and people loved him so much. I can't understand why he would bring himself to commit suicide. But if he was on my show, I don't know if I would ask him that face to face, because I cared about him so much. I think I would more likely just tell him how much I thought about him. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I think a second question that I would have for Chris Farley would be, like, just how was it on SNL? Like, how was it? Like, how was it working with Adam Sandler and all those other names that he was on there with, David Spade? Just like, how was it working in that type of scenario, and you have a new host every week, and you record your skits or get the skits ready and the writing the skits and everything, the writing process all week, and then on Saturday night you perform, and then Monday you're getting ready for the next host or whatever. So just how was it working on that in those situations and those circumstances?
Somebody can't talk. Cut this guy off. Second question I would have for Robin Williams is, if he could have chosen between living a normal life, just having a family and living on his own, or being a celebrity that he was, which one would he choose if he had to do it all over again? Because some people say it isn't worth it. And I'm curious to know.
Yeah. I don't know if I would ask. I don't really have another question for Chris Farley off the top of my head. Like, I just really like to have a sit-down conversation with the guy.
You know, I remember in high school, was it senior year? No, it was junior year. Junior year, we all had to do a term paper on somebody or something that we felt a lot about, and Jake chose Chris Farley. I chose Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. You chose Chris Farley, and you wrote and learned a lot about this guy.
Yeah. I did.
So anything with a third question? Is there anything that you can think of? I mean...
No, it's just kind of like me being a creative person and him being a creative person. I just really like to have a conversation with a guy, like, just touch base and be like, hey, blah, blah. I don't know, there's not really like a direction that I want to go. I want to have like a casual, natural conversation with him and not bombard him with questions and stuff. You know, I think it's funny because he had that skit on SNL because... apparently, when he met famous people, he like got super choked up, and like wouldn't be able to ask them questions. Like,
like on SNL.
Yeah.
When you do those skits.
Yeah, those
Like,
skits.
You remember in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. You don't even ask questions.
Those skits were written based off of his real life. Like, that's actually... Are you alright over there, bud? Alright. Those skits were, like, based off of how he acted around famous people. He got super starstruck every time, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's something that I learned in that paper. So I just kind of want to get inside his brain a little bit and see how the life is.
I had a third question and I totally forgot. But I think, if you look online, some of the quotes that came from Robin Williams are really, really deep shit, and I believe, more, when you talk more about just having a conversation with Chris Farley, I totally believe I wish I could have the same thing with Robin Williams, because besides the fact that I would have maybe a question if I thought about it, just having a simple conversation with Robin Williams, just hearing what he had to say would be so deep and so much information could be pulled out of that I don't think I would even want a question. I would just want to hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
Because he would have so much to say. And there would be so much input, you know, that's all I'd want, I totally agree with that.
Word. So now our third question is, what qualities do you find most important or valuable in a friend? I'm going to say honesty. Straight up honesty and being straightforward, like not dancing around topics or questions. If you have a question, just ask it. If you have something to say, just say it. And that's how I act. That's how I feel like I am. Like if I have something to say, I'm just going to say it. Whether I come off as an asshole or not, I'm just going to tell you how I feel. And I like that back in a friend, I guess. So that's my answer.
When I think about the question and I also think about your answer, the first thing that comes to mind is honesty. Because I think that's what you were trying to say. Any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a girlfriend, or like a relationship, some type of bond that you have with somebody, doesn't matter what it is, honesty is the biggest key, always. You got to be honest with that person, no matter what it is. But the question was qualities, not quality. So if I had to think of something else besides being honest with somebody, I guess the other things would be sense of humor. I can't be around somebody that isn't funny, that doesn't make me laugh.
Communication.
Yeah, you have to have great communication with somebody that you care about. Being able to express whatever it is that you want to express with that person. And I'm glad that I have that with you. Now, to be honest, I'm just kidding. But yeah, for real. That's how I feel. So the next question that we have is, how many pairs of shoes do you own? Can you think of how many pairs of shoes you own?
I own a lot because I don't usually throw them away when I'm done with them. But like shoes that I actually wear, I have a black pair of Vans and a white pair of Vans. And that's pretty much the shoes that I wear. And I have a pair of boots still from like the military or whatever that I wear like if I'm plowing snow or snow blowing or whatever. So those are the shoes that I wear.
4? Is that what you said?
I actively wear like 3 pair.
3.
Oh, and flip-flops, so 4. I have a pair of flip-flops.
4.
So. But I have a lot of shoes that I don't wear anymore that I should probably get rid of or give away to people.
I have 3 pair of Under Armour. I have a white pair, a black pair, and I just got a new pair, some type of basketball shoe from some important person that I don't remember. And then I also have a pair of flip-flops or sandals. I have steel-toe work boots that I am required to wear for work. So that's 5. And then I have a pair of black and brown dress shoes.
Oh, I have a pair of dress shoes too.
Yeah, so I got 7 that I can
Nice.
think of. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. So, would you prefer to go to jail for an entire year, or would you prefer to be homeless for an entire year?
I would prefer to be homeless.
And what's your reason behind that?
I think like I have enough cool friends. Like, I could just crash on couches. Or just jump trains and go travel and hitchhike and travel. I think I said travel. But that's what I would do. If I was in jail, I mean, I'd be guaranteed meals every day, I guess. You know, a place to sleep, whether or not it's real great, but I mean, I'd rather just like jump trains or crash on people's houses or crash on people's couches at their houses.
Crash on their house, who knows?
I definitely choose to be homeless, and it's just a year, so it's really not that long. You know what I mean? I've done worse things for a year.
Agreed. When I heard this question, I actually thought that I would prefer to be in jail for a year. I went to school for criminal justice law enforcement, and what I learned was that people in jail have it really good. They're actually able to get more of an education than a college student is at a cheaper cost. Their housing situation is even better. You know, they have TV, free meals, whatever, and what it costs for a day for a prisoner is nothing compared to what it would cost for one of us. You know, it's paid for by the people, you know, taxes and stuff. So I guess if I had to choose, I would rather be in jail for a year because I feel like everything would be given to me, practically. If I was homeless, I would not have anything unless I were able to scrounge it out from somebody else, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess that's my answer.
I feel like that goes back to one of the other questions, and we answered, and you said that you live, like, on the safe side.
Yeah.
And I live, like, kind of out there a little bit, not knowing what's coming, so, like, you like the guaranteed roof over your head, place to sleep, food.
Right.
And I just kind of want to wing it and see what happens.
Exactly.
So it goes back to that question.
Right, because in your sense, it could go horribly wrong, or it could be awesome, really. I mean, you could live with a friend that gives you everything, showers every day, clothes, you know, even a job, you know, and you could totally, like, literally not be homeless as soon as you move in with them. Or it could go the opposite, and you could find nobody and be fucked, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, I just know this is what is here.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, this is what I'm going to get, which is a bed, you know, and a place to stay and meals or whatever, you know, every day.
Right.
So I totally agree with that.
All right.
All right, well.
So that's our first episode of 5 questions.
That is our first episode.
I think it went pretty well. Thank you, Courtney, for the request questions.
Thank you so much.
Those are really good questions.
They are.
Made us think a little bit and tell a little bit of a story, so I enjoyed that. So, all right, thanks for tuning in.
Like, comment, subscribe. Please write down below any future questions you'd like to have us answer in the future.
Even answer the questions that we just answered in the comments below.
We would love to see them.
And follow us on Twitter.
Yep, at Cake and Bake Chan with 2 N's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the links are all in the description. The link for the Twitter and the Facebook are down in the description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. We'll see you soon.